We are the Sports Hit List. I am your host, Carl Coulange, and today we have a very, very serious topic to talk about, social issues in sports. But before I get to that, let me introduce our guest panel today. Coach Womack, Jamal, welcome here.
Carl, thanks for having
Happy
me.
New Year.
Same to you.
Mike Miller, as always.
Thank you, my brother.
Happy New Year. Al, Big Al, Noel, Happy New Year. Khaled,
What's going on, man?
Happy New
How
Year.
you doing today?
So, gentlemen, social issues in sports. A lot has been going on a lot happened in 2014, and we want to sit here and discuss it. The Eric Gardner case, Mike Brown case. We have the NYPD cops getting shot in New York. And sports is a way for people to voice their opinions. As we saw with the Eric Gardner, we had Kobe Bryant, Derrick Rose, and other players, Kevin Garnett, Darren Williams, to name a few, who wore the I Can't Breathe T-shirts. That created a little bit of stir in what they do. Now, in regards to the NYPD, two cops who got shot, assassinated, we saw football players and football personnel wear NYPD hats and materials. So, what's your take on social issues and how it impacts sports?
I don't agree with it.
Don't agree with what?
I don't agree with the fact that there's so much pressure on sports, on athletes, to be involved in today's society and what goes on. Anything that's negative, for example, the NBA represented the Eric Gardner situation by wearing I Can't Breathe shirts.
Right.
And the NFL represented NYPD's hats for the two cops that got shot. That showed inconsistency.
Right, definitely.
Like, what is the NBA trying to say?
What is the NFL trying to say?
Exactly.
Kyle, your take on what's going on in social issues?
Well, I agree that it definitely holds a very important role within our society because of the fact that these people are out there. They're on a grand scale. People are constantly, thousands and millions of people are seeing them on a regular basis. I wouldn't go so far as what Al just said as far as them being pressured into being involved, because it's just something that comes with being a human being, right. You know, a part of our society. I mean, they may be of a different tax bracket, but these are issues that still affect them as human beings, especially when you speak on certain things that have to deal with color or race.
Right.
You know, a lot of the athletes that did it were of African American descent, so it hit home for them.
Okay.
And then also, really quickly, and then also a lot of the personnel and players that did it, they had personal connection to, you know, police officers and law enforcement, so that hit home with them. Okay. So it's not so much a pressure thing; it's just something that comes with being a human being in today's society. It's just a part of it.
But what's the difference between if I do it or if they do it?
Okay, Al, I'm going to get to your point. I know you're very. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to get to Mike. I'm going to get to Jamal first. Jamal, what do you think about NYPD? You have NFL players wearing hats. NBA I Can't Breathe T-shirts. Do you think that kind of creates like a color war, color tension? Like African American players represent, you know, the NBA are representing African American players. The NFL players are representing.
I think the timing had a lot to do with why the NFL coaches and some of the players wore the NYPD hats and so forth.
Of course.
You know, obviously when Eric Garner and Ferguson situation happened, you know,
even the Trayvon Martin,
right. The NBA players immediately responded. There were the murders for the NYPD cops had not happened yet. So, you know, who knows if it would have happened in the same exact week. You never know. Some NBA players may have wore a NYPD hat, you know, or such forth. But I mean, real quick before the broader topic you brought up, I kind of disagree with Al, and I'm gonna let you. I know you're gonna come back later, but we're 60 years removed from Jackie Robinson. We're less than 50 years removed from the UTEP team that won the national championship. Like, social issues have absolutely everything to do in sports, because we got to understand what sports is as a whole. This is what brings the communities together.
Exactly.
So obviously you got to have this conversation, because if they're not going to step up to the plate, who is? These are the people that are uniting us. When we go see a game, I'm a Knicks fan. When I go see a Knicks game,
sorry, you said that.
I mean,
sorry to hear that.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. You set yourself up for that one, my man.
It's been a tough couple of years. But I mean, when I go to the Knicks games, and the person next to me can be Asian, the person next to me can be Caucasian, the person next to me can be black. But for those 2 hours we're in there, we don't look at race. We look as
enjoying the
orange
game.
And blue. We're bleeding orange and blue. We're fans. And that's what sports has the opportunity to do. So that's why I think it's important these athletes step up to the plate. Now, are they right or wrong? That's for them to judge within their own beliefs. You know what I mean?
Mike?
I agree 100% with these
gentleman. And ultimately, sports and social issues, as he said, they've always gone hand in hand. Because also, like Khaled said, it's about a human thing.
Okay.
So there's an identification with everyone. These
Okay.
issues are human issues.
Right.
They may be African American per se, but these are human issues. So there's an identification with it. So ultimately, why is it important? Because of what we're doing now. Dialogue. If nothing else, you bring awareness, you bring dialogue. Some people may not know anything about what happened. Some people may not know, for example, the Ray Rice case. Some people may not have those discussions.
And thanks for bringing that up.
Right.
Speaking of the Ray Rice situation now, and Alfred, role models. We talk about these athletes and social issues, the social issues that are the negative ones that they do. Speaking of Ray Rice and the domestic violence issue, if he's supposed to be a role model that everyone, as Womack was stating, everyone brings us together, how does someone who's on a negative aspect of it bring a culture together?
Is Bill Clinton a role model?
Right.
Wait, hold on. Is Bill? This is
of
what I'm trying to bring it. It's sports in general. Bill Clinton is a role model, and it's the reason why I'm saying that. As president, is chronicle what he did was wrong when he was in the White House. You know, extramarital affair. You know, that might have not been the right thing to do, but he made a mistake. He owned up to it after a while. He made a mistake, and he went on to try and lead the country in his best way. Ray Rice made a mistake, and I said this before. You know, as us having conversations as friends before, we can't judge anyone else's closet or know their struggle or what they're going through.
Right.
And I agree with
my issue is.
I agree with you. I wasn't finished. 1 second. I agree with you. They shouldn't be the end all say all for what your kids are learning, but you know what it should be? It should be that dialogue, like Mike said. If Ray Rice was your hero, you as a parent should be responsible to sit your child down and say, listen, he made a mistake. You should never do this. But that doesn't mean you can't want to be the Ray Rice on the field, or the Ray Rice who went to Rutgers and was a great student, or the Ray Rice that gives back to New Rochelle and gives back to his community. You can still be that Ray Rice.
Now, Al, you were saying your son is a Baltimore Ray Rice fan. So, and how did you handle the whole situation with the domestic violence?
I explained to him. I said, well, this is the situation at hand. He made a horrible mistake. We don't condone. We as society, we don't condone what he did as far as his mistake is concerned. But I understand that you still like Ray Rice. But I just need you to understand that you shouldn't like Ray Rice the person because you don't know that person.
Right. You saying not like him? You saying not? See. We have to be careful when we start because that almost comes to a point where it's character assassination. When we say not to like him as a person, he's a person that made a mistake. As he was saying,
we all make
people
mistakes.
make mistakes.
We all make mistakes.
And rather than say not like Ray Rice the person, rather say not like what Ray Rice did.
Well, he doesn't know Ray Rice, so of course I'm gonna say not Ray Rice the person.
But
if he knew him, that's a different story. But he doesn't know him.
Okay,
right.
Khaled, your point.
Doesn't know the good and bad either.
Exactly.
Wait, guys, I'm going to get to.
It's kind of a double-edged sword because you have some legitimacy on both sides. On one hand, you really don't know what these people do in their everyday life. We can say it's a mistake, but we don't know if this is a consistent thing in Ray Rice's life.
Correct.
That could very well be the case as well. So I mean, what it comes down to, and this is an example I bring up often when we're considering role models within the sports atmosphere. You can look at Muhammad Ali. It's chronicled a lot of the issues, personal issues that he had outside of the ring, behind cameras, you know, different things like that. Womanizing, drinking alcohol, stuff like that. But when he stepped in front of that camera, he understood that he had to portray a certain image to people within his community and other younger children.
Right.
Because that I wouldn't say it comes with the territory, but it is a part of what happens when you're on such a nationally televised platform.
But when you use that word portray, wouldn't we say you're portraying a
don't
character?
Be fake.
I'm just saying,
portray,
the way I perceive it, guys, 1 second. But he said portray. So when you say portray, I see it as a character. He's not portraying a character. He's a boxer. That's his profession. So we shouldn't see him as portraying someone. That's who he is. That's what he does as a job.
Right.
No. But I wasn't talking about the boxing aspect. I'm talking about when he gets in front of the camera, and he has a history of getting in front of the camera and speaking on social issues.
He has an obligation, responsibility.
He has a well-documented history of being on television shows, interviews, etc. Speaking on strictly social issues. He will dodge boxing questions completely and speak on social issues because he felt that it was important for the time.
Let me ask you
The
this.
social atmosphere needed someone like
Right.
him.
So let me
who
ask you
to
this:
speak
do
on
we
these
have a
things.
Muhammad Ali of this era now in terms of athletes? Do we have one person that
Well,
stands
we
out?
have we have several
No.
we have several athletes.
It's
who-
a different
we-
social
we have-
climate.
yeah, there we
that's
go.
never- and that's
We've
never
had
gonna-
several athletes who have come out and said, well, like for instance, Kobe said straight up, the system that we're currently in, it allows for people to kill our young black men. That was something that he said literally
emphasized,
word
right.
for word.
Right.
But we don't have too many athletes who will go to the extent that Muhammad Ali
They're
went
not.
to.
They're not.
Well, you're never.
activists.
It's not gonna. It's not
Yeah,
gonna.
it's not
You're
gonna
never
be-
gonna get back to that level. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, you-
It's something that's created that we use every day. It's called the internet. And the
Absolutely.
reason why
Yeah.
we're never gonna have those athletes because
Yeah,
you're
exactly. Social
too many
media.
people are gonna be too quick to
Too
go
on
and Google
social
your
media,
name and
yeah.
try and bring down everything you said because you may have had some kind of issue in your past. So we're
Right.
never gonna get those athletes who just come out and strictly just say,
Unless-
"I'm not agreeing with
Unless
this."
they're athletes that could care less about
Mhm.
that. Because there has been throughout sports history, there have been those athletes that will take the slings and arrows regardless because, again, with great power comes great responsibility. So some of these athletes feel it is their duty and responsibility to speak on these social issues, to put a face
But
to
the question
it.
at
Right.
hand is, why?
Because
whether you
they're,
like
they're-
Why?
because they're
whether you
human
like it or
before
not,
they're
Okay, well, okay,
athletes.
no, okay, I
Right.
understand. Fine, they're considered role models.
No,
But
not even
why-
that.
but
Not
why-
even that.
Why? But why? We're in a contract of their job as a state.
We're not
that
saying
you
that,
have to
but
be
that-
that
I'm
way.
not
that's
saying
the
as a
thing.
contract.
Right.
I'm
We're
saying
not talking
as,
about-
as human beings,
You
they
can be
feel
who
a
you
necessity,
want.
but they feel a necessity as a human being with given a platform to raise
Because you
awareness.
make $2 million, that's makes you special.
We're
No,
talking
because
about it
We're
because
not
of that.
talking about the money. We're talking about the
No.
platform.
Because
the
you
people
have
that
no,
are
it has nothing to
watching.
do with the money. You know what it has? As an athlete, and I've witnessed this.
Why
Wait,
not?
let me
Why not
finish.
entertain
Hold on,
Let me
hold on.
finish. I wasn't an NBA pro, but I was a professional athlete,
NCAA.
and I played in Italy professionally. And when I walked around the town in Italy, and when I walked around Finland, I felt it was my duty to show what kind of person I am because I represented a brand, which was my
Exactly.
team. I represented a brand, which was the league that I played in, and I represented my family. They have influence. That's all I'm saying. And when you have influence, you have a way to be either influenced positively
Or
or
negatively.
negatively.
Whether
And
you
I
like
think
it or
these
not.
athletes think I want to be
Gentlemen,
positive
as
possible.
much as I'd like to continue this topic, any final thoughts?
I'm myself role model.
All right.
In the future, God willing, when I have children, I will be too. But I won't tell them that they can't look at a positive role model in media and accept that. And I will also tell them if they ever make it to that platform, use it to positively influence others. you
Okay.
know?
I agree totally with what Al said. When I have a son or a daughter, I want to be my child's role model, but I will also tell them that if there's someone you look up to, you can take the best qualities from them, and you can take that part, and you can take that aspect and want to be that person, and also never judge anyone. You don't know what they're going through, and until you've walked in their shoes, you don't understand why they've done what they've done, and we got to just take the good and the bad, and we got to have dialogue with our kids and our children. That's what we got to
Mike, final thoughts?
I support positive influences, whether it be from me to my son, whether it be a sports figure, whether it be a cop, anything. Positive influences help cultivate and help our society prosper and our youth. So wherever the positive influences come from, I'm always for it.
All right. And my final thought is it's just to pray for peace. As much as everything that's going on, we have people being abused, we have people being killed. It's just overall, just pray for peace. That'll do it for the Sports Hit List. Take care.